It's Friday, August 25th, 2023. Let's talk about the news. From the New York Times, Prigozhin listed as passenger on plane that crashed, killing all aboard. The head of Russian government-aligned mercenary group Wagner, Yevgeny Prigozhin, was apparently aboard a private flight that crashed north of Moscow on Wednesday, though firm confirmation of his death amongst the 10 now-dead people reportedly aboard that flight is still lacking. This is broadly being seen as an act of revenge by Russian President Putin, whose friends and allies who are insufficiently loyal semi-regularly turn up dead, falling from high windows or suffering from poison that mysteriously appears in their systems. Prigozhin led a force of Wagner mercenaries on what seemed to be a failed coup attempt in late June, and though he was granted official amnesty and exiled to Belarus, many regional experts predicted Prigozhin would probably be offed by the Russian government at some point. So while his death and the causes of the crash that seemingly led to that maybe death haven't been thoroughly investigated yet, this isn't being seen as a total surprise. From the Associated Press, Iran and Saudi Arabia are among 6 nations set to join China and Russia in the BRICS economic bloc. 6 countries, the United Arab Emirates, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and Saudi Arabia, were formally invited to join the BRICS bloc of developing countries, which currently includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, on Wednesday. This is significant because the BRICS nations are generally considered to be powerful economic forces, their collective wealth and output on a more favorable growth trajectory than those of today's currently most wealthy and influential nations. And though the bloc was widely expected to expand at some point, there was controversy over which governments would be invited to join, as China has reportedly been angling to flesh out the group with more authoritarian nations, allowing it to serve as a sort of counterbalance against economic sanctions applied by the West, while India has been hoping to keep it a little more neutral, not wanting its Chinese neighbor to the north, with whom it deals but also sees a fair bit of conflict, to gain more leverage regionally or globally. And from Reuters, wildfire outside Athens as hundreds of blazes ravage Greece. More than 350 new wildfires have erupted around Greece since Friday, according to a government minister. And though local firefighting groups are working around the clock to bring them under control, these fires have already killed 20 people this week, and one of the fires is spreading along the outskirts of the country's capital city, Athens. Residents in areas just north of Athens, about 12 miles, which is about 20 kilometers, outside of the city, have been evacuated, and smoke has been cloaking the city in haze for days. This summer's wildfires are reportedly the worst Greece has ever seen, and that's of a kind with wildfire seasons in other countries around the world this year, with historically large blazes burning historically large areas of land, necessitating historically large evacuations and rebuilding related monetary investments. If you're finding some value in one-sentence news, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.